Hi guys, this is Jessica and I'm here with another What Sold This Week video for you. I'm doing January 30th through today, February 5th. I am not at my home right now. I am in a hotel room in Phoenix. It's about 3 hours away from where I am from, in Kingman, Arizona. I have my sister-in-law and brother that are visiting in Phoenix, and she loves thrifting and yard saling and wanted to do that while she was here. So I said, I will come down, I'll grab a hotel room, and we will thrift tomorrow. So that's what I'm doing here, but I figured I'd still get a video out for you because I had some great sales this week. We'll start off right back here. This is my Nifty where I pull all my numbers. There's going to be 3 sales in here that I don't have shipping numbers on because they sold as I was driving down here, but that's okay. So Joan, I have 31 sales for this week, up from 21 last week, or the last period, whatever it's called. Anyways, my average sales price this week was up quite a bit. $57.53 is my average sales price, which is great. I try to be between probably $48 and $55, so that's a nice high one. I got some good high price sales that padded my numbers this week. Average order profit 44. Total for the week so far, the day's not over, it could go up, but for right now, $1783.45 with a profit of $1386.37. So if you notice, I sell on 4 platforms and there's only 3 on here. I didn't have any sales on Etsy this week. Etsy fell asleep for me, but that's okay because eBay came in strong. I'll take that. We'll jump into sales. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. I love answering your guys' questions. But we'll jump in. I'm not going to do all 31 because that would take forever. I don't want to bore you to death. But I'll give you some of my favorite ones from this week. Starting off, I found this really cute whale tail measuring cup set at a thrift store. They just wanted a couple bucks for them. They still had the tag on them. Well, look how cute these are. Like a beach house. They still had the original Anthropologie tag for $32, and that's literally what they sold for. No, they sold for $34. I got an offer on them for $34, but I just thought they would be so cute in like a beach kitchen or an Airbnb or something that was by the beach. So cute. So that's the only reason I picked them up. But I didn't even know Anthropologie sold kitchenware, but now I know. So offer for $34, buyer paid $43.99. I put the shipping kind of high on that one because they were pretty heavy. They're like ceramic crazy ones. But I netted $27.39 on those. I would absolutely get them again. They sold pretty fast. I think within about a week of listing. My next video I'm planning out right now is 12 sales in January that sold same day. So be on the lookout for that video. Same day sales, I feel like are rare, but then when I go through my numbers, I go, oh, look there's one. So anyways, then the more you get to do this, the more you get to find just quality items that sell fast. And I'm excited to see that happening more and more in my business. Next up, discontinued books. I found this Dr. Seuss. Someone's at my door. This Dr. Seuss hardcover with the dust jacket. It's almost in perfect condition. It was so pretty. I got it at a yard sale for pretty sure like a quarter. But I do know that some Dr. Seuss books are rare or banned books. They stopped making them for different reasons. And this was one of them. So I knew as soon as I saw that one, I just picked it up and put it in my pile. I think I've got 4 books that day, so I spent $1. But this one I got an offer on for $40. Buyer paid $48.39, and I profited $30.81 off of my quarter investment. But just a really cool book, really nice condition. I saw one selling for around this price that were in worse condition for like $25-$30. So I figured I listed it a little higher, and I could have done medium mail on it. I don't know why I didn't, but that's okay. Next up, out of stock. I changed this listing a couple times, so it only shows 4 that sold at this price, but I Went to a yard sale. It was the craziest yard sale of my life. An owner of a True Value stores that had passed away. It was like his whole estate. And I got a box of these Little Tree air fresheners. I had literally the night before this yard sale seen a video of another reseller saying keep an eye out for discontinued scents because they can go for crazy money. So the yard sale was crazy in general, but I saw these and that video popped in my head and I went, they only had $1 on this whole box of, there was 48 of this scent and there was maybe another 30 of other scents. And I didn't even have time to look them up, but I just knew, okay, it's $1. Even if I sell them for $0.25 each, who cares? I'm going to make my money back. So pick them up, get them home that night, and did some research on them and found this bouquet scent was super rare, selling for ridiculous money. So I decided to lot mine up in lots of 4 and sell them for cheaper than everyone else because I had a bunch of them. And they literally all 12 lots of these sold. One of my biggest profits from a yard sale ever, which was so cool. But this is my last one. My last one I bumped up a little bit, but they still sold. I have, most of the time I have either between a 10 and 20% coupon going in my store, depending on how my sales are going. So for this one, I had a 10% off sale that my buyer used. So my buyer paid a total of $104.77 after my coupon and shipping. And I took home $71.08 on this sale, my very last lot. They all went to good homes. And they still smelled. I could still smell them through the package. So I don't know how that all works, but I've had nothing but positive feedback on all the ones that were ordered. And this one was actually ordered from a repeat buyer that ordered one earlier on and wanted the last round of them. All right. I had 2 awesome Little People sales that I included in this week's. This little set, I think I picked this up at a yard sale for $5. It was still new in the package. I believe it was from 2004, if I remember right, or 2005. I never remember right. 2005. Still new in package. They had a pretty broad range that they sold for new in package, but so I put mine up for $56.87, and they sold with my 10% off coupon. With shipping, my buyer paid $62.66, and I took home $37.61. Not too bad on a $5 pickup. And I mentioned last week about Little People. This was one of my bigger lots. Also, a yard sale find. Someone had a whole giant box of Little People with $5 on it, and I went, okay, I'll take that. They had some versions of Little People babies in it. I sold those separately, and those sold right away. This one I priced up high and just let it sit, and it sat for a while, a couple months maybe, but finally got a buyer on it with a 20% off offer that I sent out because I got a lot of watchers, but not people that would pull the trigger, and I didn't know if my pricing was right anyway. So someone finally bought it. Buyer paid $127.31, and I profited $80.28. It was just a whole box of random mixed up Little People cars. I think there were some Christmas ones in there too. Look at their Santa. Super cool sale. I'm always happy to pick those up. And a new category that I learned this week. I made a post about it on my Facebook. But there was a Facebook Marketplace ad for these old magazines, and most of them were, I think they were like Nibbles and just a whole bunch of different Nibbles and Bits or Bytes, or I don't know. It was old computer, Apple Macintosh type advertising. This one was a couple soft talk that I had put together. I literally have 6 lots of these really cool old computer magazines. And this one sold literally within 5 minutes. I knew this robot one was going to be good because, I mean, look how cool. Yeah, robots. Back in the 80s. They knew they were coming. Look at them holding an apple. Oh, they were super cool. I loved looking through them, and I'm not a computer nerd. I barely know how to use videos, so it just shows that you can learn any category once you know how to research things. And so these sold really fast. Like I said, I always have a 10% off coupon. I probably should make it so it doesn't apply to my new listings, but I usually list a little higher anyway to account for it. So it works. These sold with a 10% off coupon, so my buyer paid $111.46. Why is it so much? Oh, this went international. This went to Canada. So my buyer actually ended up paying $39.59 in shipping. And I took home $68.02 after the international shipping. I love international orders because once they make it to wherever they're going, usually mine go to LAX. Once they make it there, it's out of my hands. eBay takes over. If there's any issues when the buyer gets it, eBay takes care of them. I never have to hear from them again. So international sales are my favorite things to pop up on my screen. And I'm definitely more likely to take an offer from someone that's international because usually I make an extra $10 on shipping. So that always helps. In this lot of stuff that I bought were some old computer parts as well, which I know nothing about, but I knew I could figure it out. And this was one of them. Sold this morning. I got it all sent out already. It wasn't actually too hard to ship. I knew it's old. That's all I knew. And so I did some research on the model number and listed it. Obviously, it was in not very great condition, but like it's missing a key. No number 7 for you. But let me see. I got some good pictures of the inside. But I mean, the inside wasn't crazy. And I know old parts, obviously they don't make things anymore for everything. And I listed it. It was very clear in my description. Not tested as is, parts only, Nerd Geek. I think that's what sold it, was the Nerd Geek. But computer people, they love this stuff. They love this old technology, and I don't know, maybe it went to a museum, who knows. But sold for $199.86 with my 10% off coupon. My buyer paid $194.86. And actually, I don't even remember if I wrote down my profit on this one because I did it literally right as I was running out the door for my little drive here. I think it was $150 something that I profited, between $150 and $160, which was awesome. Cool sale. And I still have a few pieces from that lot that I bought that I need to do research on. And I'm definitely going to get on it knowing that there's people looking for this stuff. I'll get on that when I get back from Phoenix. One of my best sales of the week was a pickup that I found at my local Goodwill. They had a sealed fancy made in France perfume. Most people are kind of scared to sell perfumes on eBay, but if they're sealed, it's not a big deal at all. I saw some crazy comps for this perfume. So put it up for $224. It's sold with my 10% off coupon in about 4 days. I paid up. The only reason I even looked this up at my local Goodwill is because they had it marked at $30. And usually if they mark something up, they're either really wrong or totally right. And this is one they were totally right on. I will gladly pay $30 to profit $163.04 on the sale. Yeah, I'll take that all day. So yeah, that was a nice quick one. Always check the bag wall at Goodwill because you never know what's going to be in there. I sold earlier it was in December when I was in Idaho. It sold a skincare line that was still sealed, all in the bag. I got for $14 and it sold for over $200. Just crazy. Be on the lookout for things. Take pictures of them if you don't know and look them up. Was that it? That was my last one. That was my last good one for you. So, anywho, thank you guys. If you want a video that has all my sales for the week, let me know. Tell me in the comments. If you will be bored out of your mind and click off my video if I go over 10 or 12, let me know that too. So I don't make something that you guys aren't going to watch and don't care about. But I have sales. I'm an everything seller. I love selling clothes, but I mean, this week I didn't have very many clothes sales. I had a crazy amount of not sales that were clothes. Actually, were any of these clothes? I did have some clothes sales. I just didn't tell you about them. But if you want to see a video with all my sales, let me know, and maybe I'll do that. And like I said, my next video is 12 sales that sold within one day. So these are fast-selling bolos to be on the lookout for. If you like this content, like, subscribe, and look out every single week. Usually on Thursday or Friday, a new video is going to drop. So I'm happy to share my sales with you and excited to see where this journey takes me. I'm going full-time in June, which is literally right around the corner. So I'm excited. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you on the next one.